Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Hey, we all deal with setbacks in life. That is what they say is life. But many times we look at it and say, why did this happen? Why am I dealing with this? Well, what if you were to flip it around the other way and say, oh, this is happening for me. There is a reason for it. And there's a lesson to be learned. How do you navigate all this? He helps people do that all the time as a spiritual path coach. And a lot to talk about today. I think we might have some aha moments. Judd Fink is back with us. Hey, Judd, how you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good, good. I totally get this whole concept, and it took some major stuff, even in the last few years, for me to realize that, you know what, that over there wasn't really the best, even though you might think it's okay, even though you might say, I don't like change. Maybe it is the best. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
What are your views on all of this?
Well, my views are that whatever you perceive your circumstances as, are exactly that. It could be, you could look at things in a very positive light, like you get an opportunity to learn or you get an opportunity to grow. Spirit removed this from my life for a reason so that something better can replace it or whatever. There's a lot of different ways to look at things. And it's about vibrational matches. Like I'll use, a relationship as an example. Like maybe this relation, like you're growing at a faster rate than the other individual in the relationship, and they don't understand what's going on. So you're trying to explain things to them. They're simply not there, but you've got this other path to go on and you got to go do it for yourself. You know what I mean? And by letting that relationship go, that is actually letting that person go find that person at their level, and then you going and finding that person or whomever or whatever on your level. You're both learning through that process as well.
I totally get that. And many times we become complacent. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's comfortable. Life is okay.
Yeah.
Maybe inside you're feeling, man, this should be better. I'm just like, even if it's a relationship, just doing every day. Okay. Do I feel 100,000% fulfilled? Do I even feel, 80% fulfilled?
Yeah.
If you say no, and you're being honest with yourself, maybe it's not the right situation. And I get it. We put roots down and it's hard to make changes. And I'm centering on relationship, but it could also be your job. It's not easy just to say with any of the above to say, yeah, I'm done. Yeah, I'm going to move on, or I'm going to look for something else. It's challenging because there could be pain on the other side. You might go for a couple of months without a job. So now you have to buckle down and all of that. How do we see the good in these things?
Man, I guess it's like letting go and trusting, it's just through the process. Like if you're good and you just trust that it's all going to work out based on, the way that you think and the circumstances that are before you, you're going to be okay because you're going to attract those things that are meant to be in your life. If that is simply how it works. You're in touch with the quantum field, then how everything is connected, how you are just okay, and the things will come to you in time. It could be very fast that those things come to you as well. The replacements, the whatever, the better than you had before. And as you do the work and as you move towards these things, you'll just gain and gain and gain more confidence. That's how it works. It's not going to beat you down more as long as you're, moving forward and trusting. That's not how it works. The people show up in your life, the helpers come, the money comes, all the stuff comes as long as you just keep going and you keep your positive mindset, and so, yeah.
I'm right there with you. I believe many of us, if not most of us, are impatient. We're so used to, I call it the Amazon world where, click it, it shows up now. I need it now. Is it just having that faith and that hope and just saying it's showing up? I know it's going to show up. It is. I went through this. The good stuff is over here. It may be just right there at the edge, but I have to be patient. It's going to show up when the universe says it's supposed to show up, when it's all right.
Yeah. It is patience, man. It really is. And it's still trusting through that, right? because we are so used to getting what we want in the moment. Like we're all just programmed that way
Yeah.
right now, you know, which is contradictory to what I'm saying, right? You know,
Yeah.
to how we're programmed. And it is just that patience in faith and having trust in the process and all that, and just keep going, whatever that is, moving towards whatever is exciting to you, and just continuing to do that, the things that you love, whatever that is. It doesn't have to be like financial abundance. Are you fulfilled? Are you fulfilled in what you're doing? You know,
Yeah.
that's the purpose, you know.
I get it. And tell me if this is wrong or right. This is my mentality.
Mhm.
After dealing with a bunch of pretty major stuff, I've adopted the nothing surprises me anymore, because
Yeah.
stuff used to surprise me. You know, I was like, oh my God, what? How's that even happen? Now it's like, all right. But at the same time, when I encounter situations that don't support me or serve me, and I don't mean serve me like king on the hill, you know, be
Yeah.
gone
Yeah.
with you. Just
Yeah.
it doesn't fit. Then I just shut it down, move past it, and that's it. You know, just okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that's not good. And sure, you want to pick up the phone and send a text. See, let's say it's a relationship or a situation. You want to send an email.
Hmm.
Guilty as charged, but then I wait now. I'm like, wait. What's the good that come out of it? All I'm going to do is just purge, and
Yeah.
it's going to go nowhere anyway. So yeah, and I've come to the point even recently where I realize that people aren't going to care. You're just going to purge, and so it's just like move on, just keep moving. Like
Yes.
like the movie Finding Nemo, Dory. She always used
Yes.
to say, keep on swimming, just keep on swimming, just go
Yeah.
past it, you know, whatever it might be. Is that what's your opinion in my mentality looking at things that way?
Well, if you're looking at it exactly the right way, like the things that
And you don't have to say that.
no,
Just be
it's
honest.
true. No, it's true though, because you'll recognize the things that don't resonate with you anymore, and they will show back up. You know, you'll be given the opportunity to go back and do the same old thing that you did before,
Yeah.
right? And look at things the same way, because but you know where you are now. You know what you've experienced. You know that you know what is possible. The way that you think. You've been there. You've
Yep.
experienced these
Yep.
things. And you can easily go back to that old, you know, whatever the circumstances are, that old mindset based on an old scenario or whatever. But like how you react to it is everything, and how you react to it is actually where you measure your growth from.
Mm, fair
You know.
enough. Yeah.
Yes.
I guess when you look at it that way, um, there's your measurement. You know,
Mhm.
I've grown, I feel, and just using me as an example, just having experienced some things, and you did too. We all do.
Mhm.
How you
Yeah.
deal with it, how you react to it. But I always center around, I know if I do the right thing in my heart, and the right thing for everybody. It's not just, the
Correct.
self-centered, this is right for me, that I can't do anymore. That's it. You know, if that doesn't work, so
Yeah.
be it. I can't do anymore. Um,
And that's okay.
and that's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Hmm.
And then you just keep swimming. Just
It
keep
keeps
going.
swimming.
Right.
Exactly. You just keep going. No matter what happens, it's happening for you, not to you. You're not a victim of anything. Nobody is.
It's hard
Like
to accept that.
it is
And it sounds like a fancy, cool phrase. It's happening for you and not to you. It's hard to accept it. And
for a
I
lot of
guess
people.
it comes with the faith, right?
It does. Even the worst case scenario stuff, things that, oh my gosh, that you don't wish happened to anybody. There are such things as soul contracts, though, and like the things that you have to learn in this life. Maybe some really bad scenario is happening, but that is for you to learn from and for that individual who did it to you to learn from.
Hmm. Yeah,
You know.
it goes two ways. And I even
Mhm.
look at, situations where one, I know someone doesn't do the right thing. And now I'm not wishing this on them, but I'm stepping back and looking at it. And others have said the same thing about this person who has done not the right thing. And it's clear it wasn't the right thing. Um, over years, dishonesty, all of that. And their loved ones got cancer
Mm.
and passed away, closest to them. And I look at it and I'm like, you know, interesting that they were not doing the right thing, and that cancer may have been manifesting at that time along the way. Is there well, I wonder if there's a connection. I don't wish anything like that on anybody, but it's like maybe
Sure.
that's on a karmic level, maybe that's on a soul contract level where these things changed and loved ones were young. They shouldn't have passed away that young.
Yeah.
So I look back and I'm like, I don't hold the keys to anything here. Did the universe do that and is doing that progressively to this person? And again, it's not just my opinion. Others say the same exact thing about of this person. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that's a universe thing.
I don't
We'll
know.
never know.
Yeah. So, soul contract stuff, some people are just here for a period of time for someone to learn, for the reason of someone to learn. Like that cancer could have been that for that individual, for their loved ones and that. Um, there's all kinds of different reasons, but also people, cancer is because you're we get cancer and stuff. It's not a generational, thing. There's all kinds of reasons people get cancer, but the main one is we're
Sure.
holding on to stuff. We're holding on to stuff for so long, and we create this inflammation in our body, and then it turns your cells, which are turn into cancer cells,
Yeah.
all that stuff. We're holding on to this stress becomes a disease, right? Because you are holding on to whatever it is inside of yourself. You're not forgiving yourself. You're not forgiving other people. You're not just going with the flow. You're fighting every damn thing you can try to fight, and you don't even realize that you're doing it. You know?
Because it turns into a way of life. You're just
Yeah.
programmed, or you programmed yourself, or life helped you program yourself to just have that, put up the block here, have an issue here, instead of just swimming, and
Yeah.
just going with it. Yes, it's
Yep.
uncomfortable. Yes, it's hurtful. Yes, all these things that come up. Um, it's not easy. I get it, but you can't control other people no matter
No.
what. You can see this doesn't make sense. Why would they do? And you can become the victim, or you can just say, whatever, throw up throw the white flag if you have to,
Yeah.
and just, move on and learn.
Yeah. If you choose to entertain it, you're the one choosing to entertain it. You don't
Yeah.
have to insert yourself in situations that you don't belong in and give your opinion,
So
because you're trying to control that situation.
that being
Right.
said, um, in you, can you give us the picture of you before you started looking at this in a different way and the you now in
Oh
terms
my
of
God.
accepting it?
I had so much anxiety in the past and just trying to control scenarios like at work that I had no business trying to control, or even in my marriage, like trying to control how she thought, and you know three different people in three different places when you need to be the same person in every scenario, you know
Hmm.
and
Interesting.
right, because I'm living different lives in different places, so I'm trying to navigate all that, which is causing all the anxiety because I'm not living right, I'm not lined up or anything. So so then through that process, of getting better, and actually through the process of divorce and coming to all the realizations that I needed to come to about myself, where I'm holding on to all this stuff and causing all these things. I'm attracting all this garbage because I don't know who the hell I am. I don't know what I'm doing, you know? And then it was about getting better, going to counseling, getting better, connecting to spirit, doing all that stuff that I do, and just meeting the right people and walking that path, and then being able to let go of all of it, of just, I don't need to entertain any of this. I get to live the life that I choose to live. I choose to not entertain any of this stuff anymore that doesn't match up with
Yeah.
who I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a couple of analogies I want to look at. Do you feel that back then you were like, I don't mean this in a negative way. I relate to it. You were a car driving down the road, not, kind of swerving all over, not really sure who you were, right? And then,
Hmm.
picture the car, like, the car goes, oh, now it's over here. Now it's like, I'm not really sure. You show up one way for work, you present yourself one way, then, home one way, but it's not you. And now
Yeah.
the car is on the road, moving forward, all good.
Yeah.
Does it feel
Yeah.
that way?
Absolutely. It's just, you need to like find out who you are. And a lot of people don't even give themselves the opportunity to find out who they really are because they let other people dictate who they are rather
Right.
than themselves. You know, let the beliefs of other people dictate who they are, beliefs that expectations and beliefs that are placed on them by other people. So then they think they have to play this role for, and they don't. You know, in those ways, you do have to be selfish. You got to find out who you are, and you just do. Everybody needs to,
Yeah.
you know, to actually live the lives that they want to live, rather than being under whatever some kind of pressure to create this life based on expectations that were placed on you by others. Yeah.
Isn't it interesting? You said meet the right people.
Mm-hmm.
And in the past, that may not have resonated with you. But when you say it now, doesn't it feel exciting? I'm going to meet new people, and they're going to be the
Oh
right
yeah.
people. It's a
Yeah.
whole different feel.
Yes. I don't have, I mean, I have some, but it's very minimal. Some of the same friends that I had in the past, those ones that are just those people for you.
Sure.
But I mean, all my friends, like I keep a close circle, but I mean, none of my friends are the same now. None of them,
Same.
like
Same.
I met all kinds of different people throughout this process,
Some good, some
and
bad.
some good,
What-
some bad. Yeah,
when we say bad, bad meaning bad fit for you.
bad
Same thing
fit.
for me. That doesn't align. So now we keep in a different direction. But I totally agree with you. You have your core friends,
Hmm.
and then same situation, divorce, and just all new people. And I made an effort to find them, but then meet one who connected to another, to another. And the ones that were there in the beginning of my journey there,
Hmm.
some of them aren't there now. And
You'll find,
that's the way it goes.
yeah, you'll find out who your friends are and who actually, you know what I mean, throughout
Yeah.
that process too, because you're not lining up to who they want you to be, who
Yeah.
they expect you to be. So then they'll fall away. And you know what? That's okay. There's no reason to hold on to them or try to hold on to the relationship, because that relationship is actually going to hold you back,
Yeah.
you know?
But I guess it's going through all this stuff and with the coaching like you provide, getting the wisdom and the confidence to realize that, yeah, they don't fit. They did, for a season or a reason. I
Hmm.
truly
Yeah.
believe that. Did I ever share with you um, the nurse story real quick?
Yeah. Rose, is that it?
No, that's my mom.
Oh, okay. Okay. No, go
No,
ahead then.
I 2 years ago, like exactly 2 years ago, I
Mhm.
had I underwent radiation for skin cancer.
Mhm.
And not serious stuff, but I let it go literally on my face. It's all gone now.
Mhm.
But at that time, I was in a relationship with somebody. I knew it wasn't going to last. It just, she kind of, we're not a good fit. She was younger. It was fun for the time. I went through the radiation. I was at her place. She comes walking in the door. She's like, "Oh my God, look at your face. Let me help you." And I really didn't have any support at that time. Then I realized, yeah, she's a nurse. She was there for the reason, and I
Uh,
helped her through stuff. She helped me through that. She goes, "Let me get that. Let me fix that." Da, da, da. And then she, kind of walked me through that. And that we were together for another, couple of months, and that was it, which is fine. And that's what was supposed to happen. There was no
yeah.
surprises, but she, I believe, was in my life for a reason, a couple of other reasons. And I was there for her as well, for her to learn some things and understand some things. And that was it, like call it 5 months, but
Yeah.
it was right at that time. So I believe that was my complete wake up that was things happen for a reason. People
That's
are
it.
in your life for that.
Yeah. She needed to be there for you at that time. You
Yeah.
know.
And same thing too. There was many late night calls. She's having an issue and I was right there. Um, but
Yeah.
I don't see it any other way. Like that needed to happen. And believe in the universe. The universe dropped her down. Here she is. She's there for, for now.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna need this. Stand by. You're gonna need this. And then yeah, all right, but things like that I would have never realized, back in the day. Like going through, I guess what you went through, a spiritual, I don't want to say awakening, but just
Mhm.
getting a little more spiritual, having some faith, understanding how this all works,
Yeah.
because it works for us. It really does.
It
You
does.
know.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And it is hard to like you mentioned before, saying this is happening for us and not happening to us at times because of like what is actually happening in the moment. But so say, you know, a major trauma happened to you and in the moment it's terrible, right? Or even the years following it's terrible and you're dealing with that. But say that you open up, you tell your story, and now you're going to school to become a trauma therapist, and now you're using that to help you.
Yeah, there you go. Sure.
You, you know what I'm saying?
I do
Like,
totally. Yeah. And
yeah.
you went through it like
Hmm.
yourself, even through things. And now you're better. You're more easier. It's more easier for you to help others because you have an understanding of what other people go through and how to get from here to get to over here.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah. And it's easier to because coming from a place of non-judgment, because we're all on a different path. We've all been through different circumstances. I don't care what anyone's done. The bad stuff, the good, it doesn't matter. You know, you do those things because of the level of knowledge that you have based on the life that you've lived at up to that point. You don't know how to act from a different perspective if you've never been shown anything different, you
Right.
know.
Right. So yeah, that's an interesting point you bring up in that if you don't know any better and you're just living your life, and that could be okay.
Hmm.
But how do you find the better? How do you learn the stuff that we're talking about to have come up to those realizations like we had, like with the nurse? I would have never even, picked up on that. But I think that's that legit in terms of, in a life for a reason. How does somebody make those connections? That, all of this.
Yeah, you got to be open to it first. You got to be kind of looking for it,
Mm,
because those things will happen. You got to be able to recognize when these things are happening. But you might not even, I mean, you might be presented with something and you just kind of blow it off, you know,
mm,
and try to explain it in your scientific ways or whatever. You know what I mean? Whereas
right.
there's no explaining this
Right.
scenario, you know. But some people that scientific mind, analytical mind, really wants to have that control and be able to explain things, right?
Yeah.
And and that's just simply not how it works. Things are becoming more explainable now, quantum field, quantum physics, and how, law of attraction and all that stuff works. That's like a scientific thing, and subconscious beliefs, how everything is connected. But the the analytical mind actually holds everything back. It's You need to be able to think of everything like a child and trust, because a child just trusts
Mm.
that everything is going to work out. A child isn't trying to control everything. A child is using their imagination to create their reality, because what else is happening when you're a kid? You are loving your life. You're playing, you're running around, you're doing whatever. You're creating these scenarios in your mind that are just from your imagination, in your playland or whatever. Well, that's what every creation is born from, the imagination. Everything that exists is an idea first that was created from the imagination.
I
Everything
said
that,
I said there would be a breakthrough moment. I just had one here, a
yeah.
realization with what you just said. When
Hmm.
we're children, I totally agree. Yes, anything is possible. Everything is okay. Want to do this, want to do that. Your imagination, you create, it's all good. You never worry because
Hmm.
you can always rely on your parents.
That they're going to love you.
And they got you.
Yep.
Well, guess what? When you grow up as an adult, your parent is your universe
Yeah.
because it's got you. it,
Yeah.
it's a, it supports you. It's there. It's there for you. It's always going to be there. It doesn't want any negative for you.
No.
It's as long as things you're doing the right thing and you're open to it. And side note, I don't mean ju- just religion. If you want to, call the universe, God, that's fine for you. Or if it's just this energy that's positive, that's all good too. But it's got you back. Like when you were a kid, your parents have you back. So why wouldn't you just open yourself up and be creative and just imagine and see it through?
Yeah.
Hmm.
The Why not? What do you got to lose?
Yeah,
What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Who cares
nothing.
if someone judges you for, using your imagination,
Right.
and you being open about it? Who cares? Live your life. Be
Live.
happy. That's the
Yeah.
point, you know?
Yeah. You're always supported in some
Yeah,
way. Wow.
you are.
Uh,
Definitely.
Super cool. Judd, great talking with you today.
Great talking
Um,
with you too.
how do we connect with you to maybe open the door a little bit further and show this to people and make them understand it, or show them how they can understand and live a better life?
How do you connect with me?
Yeah.
You can go to my website. It's spiritualpathcoaching.com. You can email me there, jfink at Spiritual Path Coaching. You can schedule an appointment with me, consultation, all these things. Catch me on Instagram, message me there, Judd_Fink. There's you can find my YouTube. Message me there. It's just Judd Fink on YouTube. And yeah, I mean, all kinds of ways to connect with me. And I'm willing to help anybody,
Yeah.
find their purpose and path and whatever, and let go and just walk,
It shows, like, your passion is there, and like, we all go through stuff. You went through stuff, but you see what's possible. You see what's possible.
Cool.
And we're helping other people see that too. Thank you so much for today. Really appreciate it.
Oh man, thank you.
Thank you. All right, we're coming right back.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, I mean, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.